But
there is
Mr.
a
Jain, for how long and in how many structures are you going to keep looking for evidence?
this is the question itself shows cowardness.
Mm-hmm.
Shows cowardness.
How?
Why? If the temples have been demolished, the number of temples have been demolished, the number of temples is restored. When you demolish, you did
Is there
nothing.
an end date to it? Or we will just keep looking for temples? To your mind, is there any sanctity of the places of worship act or no?
Why should I give so much sanctity? Why should I? I never support violence. I never appeal anyone to do violence. And I'm a peace-loving person. Therefore, I filed suit. And why? You are fearful of survey? Because you know what is the truth. You know that the temple will be found, the idol will be covered. You know the truth. And I have taken a pledge in the name of God that till the end of my life, I will fight for the restoration of temples.
Mr. Jain, namaste.
जी नमस्कार नमस्कार
Namaste. This is
जी
Puja Awasthi from the Week magazine.
जी
And I wanted to talk to you a little about what has happened in Sambhal. What was the kind of evidence that you had on the structure in Sambhal that you decided that this merited an examination and investigation and there could be a case there?
Okay, there is a ample evidence, a plethora of evidence which can establish that there was a big temple, a glorious temple of Lord Hariyar, the Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. That was there because it is a place of Kalki avatar, Kalki ji के नाम से. And surrounding area, there are 68 places of worship of Hindus. There is a map to that effect, and we can very well get it. The question is, the matter remains, then history books, in mythological books, in religious books, in Purans, there is description and of Hari Mandir, the Sambhal temple. Earlier, there is, we get author Ibn Battuta of Tughlaq time. He has written that Tughlaq got it demolished. And thereafter, Tughlaq got it demolished about 800 years, 700 years ago. Ibn Battuta book admits it. Hariyar temple was demolished. Thereafter, Babur came, and by that time, Hindus started worshipping there, or there's some construction. But Babur came in 1528-29, and under his orders, Hindu Beg, his lieutenant, he demolished the Hindu temple. And then the structure has been constructed. This is the evidence. And it is very well written in Babarnama. Very well written. Thereafter, you will find there is a book of Ain Akbari, written by Abul Fazl, sometimes between 1580 to 90. In that book itself, Sambhal Subha mentioned, and Abul Fazl is written. This is a place of worship of Hindus, and their belief is that Kalki will take avatar. It is 1580, 90. So old. In 1875 to 1880, some ASI survey took place. And ASI, in his books, described that this is a place where after demolishing Hindu temple, this structure has been raised. Apart from it, in our Purans and Vedas, Shastras, there are a number of evidences that is the oldest place of worship in Hindus, for Sanatana Hindus. And once they demolish Hindu temple, so this is generally, they create or construct a mosque, like Pile Wali Masjid in Lucknow, like Qubbat Islam Mosque at Qutub, before near Qutub Minar, Kashi, Mathura, Ayodhya, everywhere. And you may remember, in Bhopal also, there was a temple of Goddess Saraswati, which was demolished. Then they constructed a so-called mosque. And survey took place, and survey reveals there is ample evidence, as I with certain after investigation, there is scientific investigation, as I revealed, that yes, there is a temple. That has happened in Kashi also. And if survey takes place here, the underground survey, I'm talking of underground survey, and the walls is standing there, you will find that there is a Hindu temple. And over walls, they pasted it, and that has been hidden.
But
There is
Mr.
a,
Jain, for how long and in how many structures are you going to keep looking for evidence?
this is the question itself shows cowardness.
Mm-hmm.
Shows cowardness.
How?
Why? If the temples have been demolished, the number of temples have been demolished, the number of temples is restored. When you demolish, you did
Is
not
there
think.
an end date to it? Or we will just keep looking for temples?
Endless temples were demolished. Endless temples were demolished. So the evidences we will get. This is the temple. We will try to get it back. We will fight the case. It is nothing but a threat to Hindus. That stop. We will there is turmoil. There is communal violence. This type of threat will not uh, uh, restrain us from proceeding. And why there should be end? As soon as I get evidence that this was the Hindu temple, I can get. And see, they kindly consider. You will never ask the question to a Muslim, why after 1500 years or 1400 years, you have declared, even in Dwarika, there is a property. In Gujarat, in Tamil Nadu, entire village were declared work after 15 years. Uday Pratap College in Varanasi, that is declared work. So they can do anything. And when we say, so there will be a turmoil, there should be end, they are doing endless work. And not only 58 lakhs properties of Hindus, and they have been captured by Muslims in the name of Waqf.
If you
Recently,
decide to fight for those 58 lakh properties, where is this going to come to an end, Mr. Jain, is my question to you.
what you are talking?
How can a
Where,
democracy survive like this?
where democracy will survive. Only then it will survive. When the cultural heritage of India is restored. And the constitution means there should be change. There should be change in the mind also. And we must remember that now we are independent citizens of this country. Meaning that by whatever the bad things have been done, immoral things, inhuman things have been done, our culture has been tempered, that should be restored. This is a concern with democracy.
So,
How
so
democracy?
to your mind, is there any sanctity of the Places of Worship Act or no?
Why should I give so much sanctity? Why should I? And why you, the day I'm asking a question, you have not considered my answer. You can claim WAF in the name of WAF, hundreds of properties of Hindus in 2024, 2020. And when I do something, you say, okay, stop. Then it is give turmoil. I will create some havoc. Why? Place of worship, that is the question. They have parliament during last regime, Congress regime, they enacted place of worship act to restrain Hindus and pave the way for Muslims to claim any property as work property and no limitation. Can you see the sabotage? You consider it. Law can't be one-sided.
So either the
Sanctity,
Places of Worship Act should be nullified or changed by the legislature. Otherwise, how can we have this act and yet we can go on and on and on changing the nature?
madam, you have not read a place of worship act in its
Okay, please
entirety.
explain.
Not read. You have not read.
Please explain.
And most of the people have not read. You know only one the place of worship act because Muslims say, and you give much better to Muslims. Go by law. What is written? Religious character will not be changed. This is not the embargo that you can't file a suit. Religious, you cannot file a suit changing the religious character of a property. So what is religious character? Whether it will be determined or not. Suppose there is a temple and you occupy it, or there is a mosque and I occupy it. I place some idols and I say it is a temple. the religious character will not be seen. If beneath there are idols, you are standing above and saying this is mosque, then I can prove there is a character of the building is of a temple. So law says religious character, number 8. Number two, read section 4 sub 3, which says the property which are governed by Ancient Monuments Act 1958, they are exempted. They are exempted. So many Muslims are only talking place of worship. What place of worship? Place of worship also says religious character will not be changed. So I have a right to establish what is the religious character of the property. A property is surrounded by a number of Hindu temples. This is Kashi. In Kashi, entire Kashi, up to 5 crores from the central place, that is the Kashi Vishwanath. That is the Abhimukta area, written in Puran, lakhs of years. In Shiv Puran, Veda, Shastra, that is mentioned. So that is religious character. The entire property is of a temple. You came, you demolished my temple and captured it. And now you are setting namaz and saying that it is a mosque. It can't be a mosque. Number 2, kindly consider. The Muslim, what Muslim says? Muslims say any mufti, any Maulana, whatever they may be, any scholar, they will say if it is proved that after demolishing a temple, a mosque has been constructed, we will never accept, because in Quran, that is not admissible. But when the time comes to prove it, no, it was actually Hindu temple. And it is not, it mosque could be there. No, now there will be there will be havoc, there will be communal riots, and the place of worship. So either you believe in Quran, either don't believe in Quran. And don't say, give you a peace lover, loving persons. We can't endorse the idea that you construct a mosque over a temple.
Does the violence in Sambhal, does it affect you? Are you saddened by the fact of the violence in Sambhal?
देखिए, I never support violence. I never appeal anyone to do violence. And I'm a peace-loving person. Therefore, I filed suit. I did not appeal even a single person to come with me, even to go to court on that day. And in any case, it is not a political issue. It is a pure religious issue. It is Muslims who always create havoc. When Varanasi, the survey was ordered, surprised. We had to go through a mob with raising slogans, Allah Akbar, Nare Hadri. In between them, we and my Vishnu, they went, entered into the temple for survey. Anyhow, saving our life. Why? The court is taking, Supreme Court ordered. Then why were you raising so much slogan? And why you are fearful of survey? Because you know what is the truth. You know that the temple will be found, the idol will be recovered. You know the truth. And when you know the truth, like a thief, like a hoodlum, you create, stop, don't come. Otherwise, we will get turmoil.
How many other properties do you have in your sites where you have to prove the religious nature of those sites?
I will not disclose today. One by one, I will take, according to my fitness of things.
But something that you can tell us, like a 10, 20, 100, 50?
Why should I confine myself? Why should I confine? Whenever, देखिए ऐसा है, we take much time in research. Sambhal has been filed after research of about 8 to 10 months.
Okay.
That time. In Mathura, we had to undertake much survey, much research. In Kashi also, in Bhopal also, 8 months, our study is going on. A number of properties are in my knowledge. Case is being prepared, no doubt, and it will be filed. And I have taken a pledge in the name of God that till the end of my life, I will fight for the restoration of temples, and each and every temple for which I get the pakka sabut, clinching evidence that it was a temple, and after demolishing a mosque has been constructed, then I will fight that case and it will come forward. I
I
don't
have two
care.
final questions. One is
Hmm.
that do you think that the nature of this act should be changed? This act needs to be reworded. It is not working in today's India.
Okay, which act?
Uh,
Krishna worship.
the Places of Religious Worship Act, should it be reworded because it's not working in today's India apparently?
Place of worship act is totally unconstitutional.
Okay.
And an act which is again the wishes of the masses. In democracy, that can't survive. If it is not repealed, one day it will be repealed. Now consider Article 25 and 29. You must have read. In Article 25, we have the freedom, right to worship. If there is a temple, there is idol. And before idol, after raising or hiding it, you are reciting namaz, offering namaz. So we have right to restore and to worship puja there. In Ajodhya case, Supreme Court has said the temple is always a temple. It never loses sanctity. Supreme Court has said. If I prove it a temple, I'm not saying they give me without evidence. Whatever your question was in beginning, how much you will take? How much that I'm not a attacker, I'm not offender. I'm not going to take by force. This question should be asked to Muslims. But whatever sin they have committed, as soon as sin is proved, that will come out. And then come out, go. What we can do? If you have taken illegal possession forcibly against our sentiments, so we have to fight it. Article 29, we have right to preserve cultural heritage of India. I do not fight between Hindu and Muslim. It is revival of cultural heritage of India.
Right.
It's not
My final question to you is actually a criticism of you, which is often voiced by people, that you are a Jain by belief, and yet you are fighting for all these Hindu places of worship. Why is it that you feel so compelled to do so?
I'm first Hindu, then Jain. My first answer is.
But sir,
First,
Jains
I'm
are
Hindu.
a different denomination. They
It
are
is
not.
it is my perception of law, Hindus. It is my perception, Article 25. Give me that liberty. What should I profess? It is my liberty.
Well, sir,
And
you
first,
talk of the constitution, and the constitution keeps Jains separately, and now you're
no,
saying
maybe.
I'm Hindu
But
first, Jain next.
I have right to profess. I have right to proclaim. I say that I'm first Hindu, then Jain, number one. Number two, when Kapil Sibal, Rajiv Dhawan, they appear from Muslim side for Babri Masjid. Have you put any question to them? Why you are being a Hindu? Why you are conversing for them? Have you put any question to Mulayam Singh and Akhilesh Yadav who are supporting Muslims? They are Hindus. Then nobody can question. Only question to me. If I am Jain, I am supporting. I have to और बता दूं. Jainism is not a separate religion. For your information, Jain is very part of Hinduism. Buddhism is part of Hinduism. इसको कहते branches of Hinduism. Hinduism is a tree, big tree. These are the branches. We can't separate ourselves from Hinduism. We follow Hinduism. Even Guru Granth Sahib, they follow Hinduism. Every prayer for Hinduism. Or somebody is very well related to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak was worship of Lord Ram. In Saptasakhi, they mentioned. In our Jain religion, we all follow Ganesh Ji, Hanuman Ji. The people have not read Jainism. But I can only say for short that I'm Hindu. It is my belief. You can't compel me to follow particular religion. Suppose you say that Jainism is a separate religion. But I said, no, I'm first Hindu, then. And I worship Hindu god and goddess as well as the daily mantra of Jain religion. Ramo 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 Lord Mahavir Swami, we worship. I worship Buddha. He's my preacher. He's my guru. I worship daily. Photos before Guru Nanak Dev Ji. All the branches of Hindus I worship. That is Sikh, Jain, and both.